Time for another midweek update. Hope you're having a good Wednesday. We've been so happy in the last few weeks to have a number of folks back with us in worship, and especially this past Sunday, how we were able, so many of our Sunday school classes were able to get together in person. We have a number of classes that are still operating remotely and doing well with that, but we're able to accommodate the return of classes now. As I've mentioned in the past, we continue to have those gatherings at distance, so with that 6 foot of distance that we're still working with and masked. But even so, everybody was excited to be back this last week. We had a great crowd, and I should probably have the number on my mind as how many classes gathered, but I'd say probably 8 or 10 adult classes, all of our children's classes, our youth ministry. And that, just having the halls, having people in the hallway and people back at the church before 10 a.m. at worship time, felt very nice. So it was a good day back together. It also had an impact in the way we worshiped. There was a different level of energy in the room. So really grateful for all the folks who have put in the time to plan. Our COVID response team and our reentry team have done a lot of great work in making sure that to give us the guidance and help us to do this well. And our Sunday school leaders and teachers have been so mindful, not only of making this last Sunday work, but as I've said before, in this extended period, the pandemic, such a fine job of staying connected with those classes, making virtual meetings happen when possible, and doing good ministry. And it's been obviously a vital piece of us just continuing to be a strong church. So we're looking forward to the days ahead with that, as more people are able to come back and we're able to accommodate. We did have some shifting of classrooms to accommodate space, but no complaints Sunday. Everybody was flexible and it worked really well. So thanks to all, and we're excited to have another Sunday on the horizon where we're going to reboot and do it again and see even a few more people. The capacity in the sanctuary, we do have more space now with the seating, and so make those reservations each week. We also have the ability to do overflow now in the fellowship hall. So if you sign up and you're here at Sunday school, but the sanctuary, we meet sanctuary capacity, you don't necessarily have to try to run home or go watch worship in the car. You can gather with friends and other folks from your Sunday school class in the fellowship hall. We'll have the chairs spaced out in there, and we'll have the service streaming on the large screen in there in the fellowship hall. You continue to hear a lot from the church and from our transition team about the 3 conversations that are on the horizon, and everybody talking about them is trying to make clear that these are 3 separate conversations of which we all want to take part in each conversation. So they build on each other. The first is, we kind of reflect back on the past. The second will be a look at the present, and the third will be kind of looking forward. So those are in April, May, and June. The first one is only a week and a half away now. And because the transition team has to do a fair bit of planning to have folks in small groups, we need as many as can to register in advance. If your circumstance change and you're able to just be there on the day, that's all good. But the more advanced registration that team has, the better they're going to be able to make the plans. If the weather cooperates, this is going to be outdoors, an outdoor event in the back lot. There may be some indoor seating as well, some indoor small groups. But if it doesn't, then we're going to be spaced. We're going to be in, kind of worked in different small groups throughout the church. But the transition team's got a good plan coming together for that. And those other dates, in case you have your calendars handy, May 23 and June 13 are the second and third conversations. Again, we want to make all 3 conversations. Each of them is on a Sunday at 5 p.m. Before I go, let me take a minute and give you an update on the prayer list. Gaynell Pinson has been on our prayer list for a while. We want to continue to remember Gaynell. She had to make a return visit. She returned to Brookwood this last week after a fall. So keep Gaynell in your prayers. Imogene Sleeman has also had surgery earlier this week in Atlanta. She has family there, so she's going to be with her son after recovery. So let's remember Imogene following some hip surgery. And you may remember Buddy McGahan has been on our prayer list for some cataract surgeries. He's completed his second one and is doing well. Was on the prayer breakfast link this morning, and we're grateful for that. On the folks who are at home, of course, we continue to remember the Coopers, and Jason has begun his immunotherapy. And so we want to remember Jason, Merrill, and the extended family in this stretch ahead of them. That will be, some tough work to be done. And Cordy Grigsby continues in rehab and recovery. She's back home, so we want to remember her. And lastly, Paul Edfelt, as I mentioned last week, has been in the hospital, but has returned now and is at home in palliative care. And he and Sue are at home doing well, but obviously know what is before them. But let's keep Paul and Sue close to our hearts, excuse me, around the corner here in the coming days. Let's see, if you were at worship or tuning in on Sunday, you noticed that we had a new baby in the church, and so we're thrilled about that. Oliver James Hill was born last Friday. So Oliver is the son of Hunter and Evelyn Hill. Relatively new members, just over maybe a year and a half ago. So you may have not had a chance to even encounter or meet Evelyn and Hunter because of the lack of us being in person over the last year. They're also neighbors. They live up here near the church, but we're ecstatic for Hunter and Evelyn in the birth of Oliver James. And keep in your prayers as well the Carter family, Jennifer and Shane. Shane lost his grandmother, Mary Bush, this last week. And so reach out to Shane and Jennifer, let them know that you're praying for them as well. Do remember the congregational conversations. That's a mouthful. A week and a half away is the first one, April 25th. Just go on the website. The very front page has the link to register for those conversations. If you have any trouble with that, just give us a call and we'll make the reservation for you. Hope you have a great day. Talk to you soon.